let's do some minor coding just to kind of add features and stuff like that. So maybe I'll delete this building and I'm going to put the fox back in the middle. Again, everything will reflect in real time. What's cool about Echo is that every 3D asset that is being streamed in has the custom behavior script attached to it. It's a script in C# for kind of in the C# language in Unity format. Don't get alarmed. We're going to go through it together. But it's basically really, really easy to kind of code in new features and use data from the cloud in order to basically affect the asset through code. So as I mentioned, C# and Unity format, we have two main functions here. One is the start function, which is evident by its name, happens when you start the application. And the other function is the update function. This is a really cool function that kind of runs every single frame. Remember, you're coding in 3D now, which means there's like a video rendered. There's like this kind of environment that's constantly being rendered in front of you. So this kind of function happens, again, every single frame. It's like a while true loop or a never-ending for loop. This also means, because it's running constantly, that you have to kind of remember your kind of CS fundamentals of complexity and making sure this function doesn't hang or get stuck. But if it does, your entire application will kind of hang or will just freeze. But let's start with something simple. We have the start function that adds some script to the model, and then it asks, okay, do I have any additional data? If I do I have an additional data called name? And if that's the case, set the name of the object to that name. Okay, fair enough. Kind of super easy feature. Let's see what that means in practice. So that means that if I add something like name, so let's add that name here. And let's call the fox Kevin. If I press play, data again will stream from the cloud to the device. And we'll be able to see the cloud, the kind of a fox now named Kevin. How cool and simple is that? Just added content and then just use that. If I change that name from Kevin to, let's say, Tom, nothing changes. Why is that? Because the snippet of code that handles the naming happens in the start function. So it already happened. Like, we need to kind of restart the application for that code to run again. So let's see how that works. If I replay it, data will kind of, again, stream from the cloud, and now it's Tom. Super simple. But what happens if I want this kind of data to be changed in real time or constantly be checked for changes? So you guessed it, I'm